Now, most people will have heard of the American War of Independence, which was a huge turning point in British imperial power. A lesser known fact is that it made its way over the pond and reached British soil. Why? In 1778, Whitehaven was one of the main trading ports in Britain. Now, a fella by the name of John Paul Jones, no, not the bass player, who was born in Cumbria, knew the British Isles well, in particular Whitehaven, where he had spent some considerable time as a younger man. Now, Jones ended up on the run so he could escape the crimes he had committed on the British Isles, and within a few years he had joined the continental US Navy. At first he served well in the Navy, but due to his personality he soon began to upset and irritate people. Now, for reasons unknown, he decided to attack the British Isles with a crew of around 30 men. And on the evening of the 22nd of April 1778, Jones and his men sat 2 miles off the coast of England. They were armed with cutlasses and pistols. The men left the ship and set out on small boats towards the shore. Now, the plan was to split into 2 groups. One group would burn the ships, whilst the other would raid the fort and disable the cannon. The men silently scaled the walls, and the attack caught the defenders off guard, and Jones's group went to knock out the cannon defences. The other group of raiders were on their way to the dock to set the ships alight. The British account of the attack goes on to say that the attackers failed because they'd all ended up getting drunk. The Americans, on the other hand, claimed that bad weather had stopped them from completing their mission. Jones did, however, manage to set alight the main target, a coal ship called the Thompson. The wooden vessels were covered in tar and set on fire. David Freeman, an Irishman who was part of Jones's crew, was unhappy with his captain's leadership. He then went on to warn the townspeople of what was about to happen, and fire engines rushed to the scene and extinguished the flames before any lasting damage was done. Jones and his crew fled, managing to take 3 prisoners with them. They managed to set sail away to the northwest, and for the remainder of the war he led skirmishes on the British. The British, on the other hand, were shook up at the audacity of the assault. They tightened up coastal defences as the war rumbled on.